Hello everyone, to our live session and to mock test number 4. So far we have done 3 mock tests of 50 questions each. So that's altogether 150 questions based on the syllabus of English literature, which could be helpful for you across competitive exams. But in this mock test, we are aiming for UGC NET 2026. And if you haven't come across our previous mock test, do subscribe to my channel and check out the live session. You can find all the 3 previous live stream videos there, and you can participate and go through all the different kind of questions that we have discussed so far. And in this live stream, I have with me a question paper with 100 questions altogether, but in this live stream, today we'll only be discussing the first 50 questions, and the rest of the questions will be discussed in the next live session. Okay. So let me just check if anyone has joined. For those of you who will be joining in the live session, and for those of you who will be watching it after even after the session has ended, welcome to my channel. Here in this channel, we will be discussing all sorts of content related to English literature, lecture videos, and mock tests such as this for various competitive exams. And do consider subscribing and liking the video. And we'll be starting with our first question for today. Queen Victoria succeeded to the throne of England after which king? Option A, William IV. Option B, Edward the 7th. Option C, George IV. Option D, George III. I initially planned on bringing a timer, but I forgot. I'll be doing that in the next live session. But just think of yourself that you have 30 seconds to answer the question and let me know your answer in the comment section. Which king did Queen Victoria succeeded? And the right answer is option A, William the 4th. I hope this doesn't make it look like I'm marking option B. It's option A. Okay. Next question. Oxford movement was basically option A, religious movement. Option B, literary movement. Option C, social movement. Option D, economical movement. Let me know in the comment section. What kind of a movement do you think the Oxford movement is, which was a prominent movement in the Victorian period? So the right answer is again option A, religious movement. Next question, Oxford movement was started by option A, scholars of Oxford University. Option B, the clergymen of Oxford. Option C, the university wits. Option D, none. So let me know your answers in the comment section. I think we can rule out option C because the university wits, like I said, the Oxford movement is a movement that was prominent in the Victorian age, and university wits was prominent during the Elizabethan age. So we can rule out option C. Is it A or B? Let me know. Yes, the right answer is option A. So if you have heard of the name Newman, John Newman, he is one of the proponent of Oxford movement. That's just a bit of additional information. Next question. Who was the leader of the pre-Raphaelite group? Option A, D.G. Rossetti. Option B, Christina Rossetti. Option C, Swinburne. Option D, Morris. Let me know in the comment section. Who do you think is the leader of the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood? Another prominent, you can call it literary school or movement in the Victorian period. The right answer is once again option A, D.G. Rossetti. So all of these members, D.G. Rossetti, his sister Christina, Swinburne, Morris, all of them were part of the Brotherhood itself, pre-Raphaelite poets. But D.G. Rossetti is moreover the leader of the group. And their motto is art for art's sake. Next question, which of the following novel is called a novel without a hero? Option A, Vanity Fair. Option B, Mill on the Floors. Option C, Pickwick Paper. Option D, Northanger Abbey. Let me know which novel has the subtitle A Novel Without a Hero. You can mention the options in the comment section. Just tell me A, B, C or D. Yes, the right answer is option A, Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. And let's discuss the other options as well. Mill on the Floors is by George Eliot. And it's said to be her spiritual autobiographical novel. Pickwick Papers is by Charles Dickens. It's his first work. And Northanger Abbey is by Jane Austen, and it is said to be a satire of the Gothic genre. Next question, George Eliot was the pen name of? Option A, Mary Collinson. Option B, Mary Ann Evans. Okay, there's a bit of a typo here. It's Mary Ann. Oh, I'm not using a pen, so my handwriting could come across as very weird. Okay, Mary Ann Evans. Option C, Lara Evans. And option D, none. So George Eliot is not actually the real name of the writer who has written Mill on the Floors, Adam Bede, and Roxana, and Romola, Felix, so many works. It's a pseudonym or pen name. Tell me the real name of that writer. And the real answer, the answer we're looking for is option B, Mary Ann Evans. Next question. And C. Tennyson was appointed as the poet laureate after whom? Option A, William Wordsworth. Option B, Robert Southey. Option C, S.T. Coleridge. Option D, Robert Browning. I hope you are answering in the section. Okay, I will say my answer. The right answer is option A, William Wordsworth. Tennyson was appointed as poet laureate after Wordsworth. Next question, in memoriam, Tennyson mourns the death of option A, Keats. Option B, Hugh Clow. Option C, Lord Byron. Option D, Arthur Hallam. So basically, we all know Tennyson has written an elegy. That is, he's mourning the death of a certain person in the work In Memoriam. Who is he mourning? Let me know your options in the comment section. And the right answer is option D, Arthur Hallam. Because Keats, he has also been mourned, and it is Shelley. P.B. Shelley writes Adonais, where he mourns the death of Keats. And Matthew Arnold writes Thyrsis, where he mourns the death of Arthur Hugh Clow. And so, in memoriam, Tennyson mourns the death of Arthur Hallam. He is known as AHH, Arthur Henry Hallam. Next question, who defines poetry is a criticism of life under the condition fixed for such a criticism by the law of poetic truth and poetic beauty? Option A, Matthew Arnold. Option B, Coleridge. Option C, Wordsworth. Option D, Shelley. Let me know who says the following statement. It's a critic. Which critic talks about poetry in this way? Is it Wordsworth? Is it Shelley? Is it Coleridge? Is it Arnold? Because all four of them are critics. And the right answer is option A, Matthew Arnold. Okay. And we are reaching the 10th question, very easy question. Who is the author of Origin of Species? Option A, Charles Darwin. Option B, Lord Tennyson. Option C, Matthew Arnold. Option D, Charles Dickens. Who is associated with the evolution of species, the origin of species? A very easy direct question. It's none other than Charles Darwin. So we have completed 10 questions. And if you have joined with me so far, do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel as well, because we will be continuing. I hope you are answering with me in the live stream in the comment section. Which of the following was the most popular form of literature during the Victorian age? Option A, prose. Option B, poetry. Option C, novel. Option D, drama. Let me know which option that you have chosen. It's the Victorian age, okay, which is the most popular form of literature during the Victorian age. I know there are a lot of poets out there. We have Tennyson, the poet laureate. We have Robert Browning, Elizabeth Barrett Browning. We had the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. So many poets, so many poetry. And we also had an equal share of prose and drama, but the most dominant and popular form was that of the novel. So our answer is option C. Because even if we take the most famous novelist, we have Dickens, we have Charles Dickens, George Eliot, Thomas Hardy, William Makepeace Thackeray. These are just a few of the names that immediately comes to our mind when we think about the Victorian age. And that is why novel was the most popular form during that time. Next question, Matthew Arnold belongs to option A, Victorian age, option B, Romantic age, option C, Puritan age, option D, modern age. Another direct question. What do you think? It's not Puritan age, right? It's definitely not Puritan age. It's not Romantic age. So is it between A and D? What is your choice? The right answer is option A. Oh, I can't mark. Okay. I hope you don't misunderstand. It's not. Okay. Next question. Give me a good mother, I will give you a good nation, was the observation of option A, Napoleon, option B, Hitler, option C, Abraham Lincoln, option D, none. This is less to do with literature as such, but then again, it's a statement. Let's think of this as an outer syllabus question, because NTA always asks a lot of outer syllabus questions. Just think of it as such. Let me know who said, give me a good mother, I will give you a good nation. It's actually a statement that was made by Napoleon Bonaparte. Next question, which of these English authors was a member of the Bloomsbury Group, a literary circle that rejected the Victorian taboos on religion, artistic, social, and sexual matters? Option A, Virginia Woolf. Option B, George Orwell. Option C, John Fowles. Option D, D.H. Lawrence. So we have moved on from Victorian age to modern age, and there was a popular group called the Bloomsbury Group. Who was a member of the Bloomsbury Group? Let me know. I can give you a hint. This person is associated with the stream of consciousness. Very easy. It's Virginia Woolf. Next question. Which allegorical novel by William Golding features a group of boys stranded on the desert island? Option A, Rites of Passage. Option B, Darkness Visible. Option C, Fire Down Below. Option D, Lord of the Flies. Which is the novel where the basic story is about a group of boys stranded on a desert island. This is the first work of William Golding. That's the hint. And as you have guessed, the right answer is option D, Lord of the Flies. Next question. What do George Bernard Shaw, William Butler Yeats, Rudyard Kipling and William Golding have in common? Option A, all of them received the Nobel Prize in Literature. Option B, they were members of the Fabian Society, that is a British socialist intellectual movement. Option C, they were all born in Ireland. Option D, all of them served in World War I. Which is common? Which factor or which option is common in all these writers? It's a very interesting question, actually. Not quite direct, but then again, if you think about it, you will get the connection. And I will give you the explanation as well. So let me know your answers. Okay. Okay, let me tell you the answer and how and why we chose the option. The right option is option A. All of them are Nobel Prize winners. Okay. Now, George Bernard Shaw won the Nobel Prize in the year 1925. If you don't know this already, or if you forgot it, you can write this down. George Bernard Shaw won the Nobel Prize in the year 1925. William Butler Yeats won the Nobel Prize in the year 1923. Rudyard Kipling won the Nobel Prize in the year 1907. And William Golding won the Okay, so these are the have won the Nobel Prize. That could come up as a separate question. That's why I have said it. And that is the reason we chose option A as our answer. Next question. What name was applied to the group of British playwright and novelists from the 1950s, which included John Osborne, John Brain, and Alan Sillitoe? Option A, the conformist. Option B, the angry young man. Option C, the rebels. Option D, the disappointed young men. What is the group that consists of Osborne, Brain, Sillitoe, all called? There is also more. Kingsley Amis is also part of the group. So let me know which is the option. It's very common. It's very easy actually. If you know the basic understanding of British literature, the seminal work is Look Back in Anger by Osborne. I hope you have gotten the answer because it is option B, Angry Young Man. Next question, Rupert Brooke wrote his poetry during which conflict? Option A, Boer War. Option B, Second World War. Option C, Korean War. Option D, First World War. Okay. So for most people, the confusion might be between B and D. It's a world war. Is it first or second? Let me know. First World War, Second World War. Which was the time in which Rupert Brooke and along with him a lot of war poets were writing their poetry. It is option D. Next question, who wrote the idyllic Isle of Innisfree? Option A, Dylan Thomas. Option B, Ezra Pound. Option C, W.B. Yeats. Option D, E.E. Cummins. Who wrote the work Isle of Innisfree? I can give you a hint. This is an Irish poet. He has worked for the Irish Renaissance. He founded the with Lady Gregory. Other works are Second Coming, Easter 1916, The Sailing to Byzantium. It is W.B. Yeats. And he got the Nobel Prize in the year 1923. Next question, the Cambridge School refers to a group who emerged when? Option, there's a bit of a mix-up in the option, don't bother. Option, okay, let's forget the options. Just tell me in the 1900, 1960s, 1920s, 1930s. If you let me know the option is okay, just let me know which time period, 1900, 1960, 1920, 1930. Just give me the year in the comment section. Just type out the year. When do you think the Cambridge School of Poets of the Cambridge School came into being? It is actually in the year 1920s. Next question. Which of the following words describe the prevailing attitude of high modern literature? Is it, is it skeptical, authoritative, impressionistic, or both A and C? Is it both skeptical and impressionistic? What is the right word you would use to describe high modern literature? The answer is actually option D because it's both skeptical because there was a lot of confusion happening. The belief of God or the faith in science was having a conflict, and it was impressionistic as well. Next question. Which of the following writers wrote historical novel? Option A, Jane Austen and Charlotte Bronte. They have never written a historical novel. Sir Walter Scott and Maria Edgeworth. We'll take that into consideration. Wordsworth and Coleridge, they have written a work together that is the lyrical ballad, but it was not historical. They have not written any novels. Mary Shelley, Percy Shelley. Mary Shelley has written a work, Frankenstein, but it was gothic or science fiction. And together they have not written any historical novel. And moreover, the person who is known for introducing historic genre or father of historical fiction is known as Sir Walter Scott in his Waverley novels. So our option is option B because his first work was called Waverley, and so all his works came to be known as Waverley novels, and he is the main proponent of historical novels along with Maria Edgeworth. Next question. Who has defined poetry as a fundamental creative act using language? Option A, H.W. Longfellow. Option B, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Option C, Dylan Thomas. Option C, Dylan Thomas. Option D, William Wordsworth. Who defined poetry as a fundamental creative act using language? Let me know your answer. Even if you don't know, you want to take a wild guess, that is completely fine. This is how we learn. Okay, so take a bit of a time and let me know. Okay, I hope you had enough time to think and comment in the comment section because the right answer is Dylan Thomas. Next question. Sassoon and Brooke wrote what kind of poetry? Option A, light verse. Option B, romantic. Option C, political satire. Option D, war poem. What kind of poetry did Sigmund Sassoon and Rupert Brooke? We just talked about him in a previous question. What kind of poetry did they write? And the right answer is war poem. Next question. Ted Hughes was married to which American poetess? Option A, Carolyn Keyser. Option B, Mary Oliver. Option C, Sylvia Plath. Option D, Marianne Moore. Let me know which American poetess was the wife of Ted Hughes. And she is a part of a confessional poet. She's a confessional poet. She has written a poetry collection called Ariel. It is option C, Sylvia Plath. Next question. The magazine Contemporary Poetry and Prose was inspired by which exhibition? Option A, the Festival of Britain. Option B, the Surrealistic Exhibition. Option C, People of the 20th Century. Option D, Drawing of the 20th Century. Let me know. For me, this was a new question. So I'm not sure for how many of you this is a new question, but regardless of that, if you know it already, then you have a very good understanding of the syllabus, and let me know the answer. Even if you don't know the question, don't worry. This is exactly how we learn unfamiliar questions. So just take a wild guess. Let me know and I'll tell you if your guess is right or wrong. And the right answer is option B, surrealistic exhibition. Next question, which of the following acts were not passed during the Victorian era? Option A, series of factory acts. Option B, the Custody Act. Option C, the Women's Suffragette Act. Option D, the Married Women's Property Rights Act. Let me know which act was not passed. Please note the question. Which was not passed during the Victorian period? The answer that is shown is option C, Suffragette Act, because it was mostly happening during mid 19 to mid. Okay, all the rest of the act was already passed during the age. Next question, which of the following phrase the late 19th century uh, aesthetic movement which widened the breach between artist and reading public, sowing the seed of modernism? Option A, art for intellect's sake. Option B, art for God's sake. Option C, art for masses. And option D, art for art's sake. Okay, key terms that you have to note. Late 19th century, aesthetic movement, and it's a movement that is between artist and reading public. The moment you hear art, especially if it is happening in the Victorian age, and that's it served as a precursor to modernism. So you have the art, you have the motto art for art's sakes. We dealt with a question like that just in the previous question. It is art for art's sake, pre-Raphaelite brotherhood. Next question, what was the impact on literature on the Education Act of 1870, which made elementary schooling compulsory? Option A, the emergence of a mass literate population at whom a new mass produced literature could be directed. Okay, let's solve it together. The emergence of a mass literate population at whom a new mass produced literature could be directed. It's right. A new market for basic textbook which paid better than sophisticated novels and plays. I think because a lot of textbook may be produced but it didn't pay better. Definitely not better than novels or play at that time. Next option, popular thirst for the classics, driving contemporary writers to the margin. In the age of, okay, 1870, you're talking about the 19th century. This is not true because contemporary writers were given importance, were given the limelight. There was no, it was not neoclassical age. So the right option we have is option A, I think. Let me check the answer key. Yes, that is our answer. Next question, which text exemplifies the anti-Victorianism spread in the early 20th century? Option A, Eminent Victorians. Option B, Jungle Book. Option C, The Will of All Flesh. Option D, both A and C. Which text exemplify the anti-Victorianism? Let me know in the comments what your options are. I'll give you a minute to read. The answer is option A and B, Eminent Victorians and Way of All Flesh. Okay. Next question, with which enormously influential perspective or practice is the early 20th century thinker Sigmund Freud associated with? This is a direct question. Option A, eugenics. Option B, psychoanalysis. Option C, phrenology. Option D, anarchism. If you don't know the rest of the terms are, you know what Sigmund Freud is associated with. If you know the basic understanding of literary theory, it is option B, psychoanalysis. Next question, which best describe the Imagist movement exemplified work of T.E. Human Ezra Pound? Option A, a poetic aesthetic vainly concerned with the way words appear on the page. Option B, an effort to rid poetry of romantic fussiness and facile emotionalism, replacing it with a precision and clarity of imagery. And option C, an attention to alternate state of consciousness and uncanny imagery. Option D, the resurrection of romantic poet sensibility. It's a lengthy answer options. I'll give you and let me know your in the comment section and we will discuss it. Okay. Okay. So I hope you have answered. I'll tell you one thing. When we talk about images movement, when we talk about the work of T. Hume, etc. Pound, the first keyword, always not the keyword, the first keyword that we have to understand is imagery. Images movement is concerned with imagery. So let's look for the keyword in the options. It's not option D. It's not a resurrection of romantic. So we can cancel out option D. What is option A? A poetic aesthetic vainly concerned with the way words appear on the page. That is not the right answer. I told you the keyword is imagery. So we have B and C. Let's look at option C. An attention to the alternate state of consciousness and uncanny imagery. Image the movement is mainly focusing on clarity of imagery. Clear imagery is not uncanny. It's the opposite of it. So we know option C is not wrong. Sorry, option C is not right. That leaves with option B. An effort to rid poetry of romantic fussiness. Okay, so they don't want poetry to be romantic or full of emotion. Instead, what do they want? The images. They want precise, accurate, clear imagery. That is the idea of imagism. Okay, so our option is option B. Next question. What characteristic of the 17th century metaphysical poetry sparked the enthusiasm of modernist poet and critics? Option A, its individual complexity. Option B, union of thought and passion. Option C, uncompromising engagement with politics. Option D, A and B. Read through it and let me know what is the central idea or characteristics of metaphysical poetry. I don't think it is related to politics. Metaphysical poets had nothing to do with politics. But on the other hand, they had intellectualism. That is what we see in the form of metaphysical conceit. And they were united in their thought and passion. So that we have both options right. Option D. Next question. Which is described as part of the movement of the 1950s? Tom Gunn, option B. Pablo Picasso, option C. Philip Larkin, option D. A and C. I think we can collectively agree that Pablo Picasso has nothing to do with the poet movement. So we have option A and C. It is both Tom Gunn and Philip Larkin who were part of the movement of 1950s. Next question. Which British dominion achieved independence in 1921 following the Easter Rising of 1916? It's actually something related to the social history of England. Option A, southern country of Ireland. Option B, Canada. Option C, Ulster. Option D. If you have read W.B. Yeats' poem of the same title, Easter Rising 1916, you will know that it is concerned with the southern country of Ireland, okay, and their independence. Next question. Which phrase indicate the interior flow of thought employed in high modern literature? Option A, automatic writing. Option B, confused days. Option C, total recall. Option D, stream of consciousness. Keyword is high modern literature. So what should be the first thing that should come to our mind when the option? Virginia Woolf, James Joyce. It is option D, stream of consciousness. Next question. Which of the following is not associated with high modernism in the novel? Option A, stream of consciousness. Option B, free indirect style. Option C, irresolute open endings. Option D, narrative realism. Please note the question which is not related to high modernism. Let me know. So let's analyze the. You think about modernism, modernist work. Stream of consciousness is a characteristic. Open endings. It is always open to interpretations. Okay, we can when we read a work like Mrs. Dalloway, our opinions are completely subjective. So C is also a characteristic. We want to know which is not a characteristic. So A and C is not our answer. Free indirect style. Stream of consciousness is an indirect style of writing. We have multiple point of views, and also we get to know the thoughts and feelings of the character itself. So indirect style is again one of the characteristic of modernism, which leaves it with option D. Narrative realism is not associated with high modernism, so that is our answer. Next question, who wrote the dystopian novel 1984 in which Newspeak demonstrate the heightened linguistic self-consciousness of modernist writer? Simple. Who wrote the novel 1984? Option A, George Orwell. Option B, Virginia Woolf. Option C, Evelyn Waugh. Option D, Orson Welles. Let me know. This is the same person who wrote Animal Farm, Inside the Whale, Burmese Days, and a few more works that is not coming to my mind. Animal Farm is on top of the list. And in 1984, it's a dystopian novel and was written by George Orwell. Next question, which of the following was originally the Irish Literary Theatre? Option A, Irish National Theatre. Option B, Globe Theatre. Option C, Abbey Theatre. Option D, both A and D. Let me know which was formerly known as the Irish Literary Theatre. Next, the right answer is option A and D. We are reached 40, 10 more questions to go. I hope you guys are still with me. Let me know how you are finding this video, how you are finding this mock test. Is it helpful? And if yes, do like the video, consider subscribing, because we'll be dealing with the rest of the questions tomorrow as well. Okay. So next question. Which of the following has been significant development in British theatre since the abolition of censorship in 1968? Option A, the rise of workship and collaborative ethos. Option B, the emergence of a major cohort of women dramatists. Option C, diversifying impact of playwrights from former colony. Option D, all of them. The abolition of censorship in 1968. So let's see. After censorship was abolished, we do see a lot of workshop up, a lot of collaboration. So A is right. And women dramatists also came about, and there was a lot of playwrights coming up from the former colonies as well. So our option is all of the above. These are the significant development of abolition of censorship 1968. Next question, what did Henry James describe as loose, baggy monsters? Option A, novels. Option B, play. Option C, the English. Option D, publishers. Which do you think is the right answer? I actually thought option D was the right answer when I came across the question. I thought he was talking about the publishers, but actually the right answer is option A. He's talking about the novels. Next question, who is the author of the famous novel The Portrait of a Lady? Option A, James Joyce. Option B, Henry James. Option C, Thomas Hardy. Option D, Charles Dickens. It's a portrait of a lady. Who wrote the work? And the right answer is the person we had discussed just now, Henry James. Next question, which of the poem of T.S. Eliot traced the sickness of modern civilization A civilization that, on the evidence of the war, preferred death or death in life to the spiritual emptiness and rootlessness of modern existence. So it's basically what the work is about. Identify the work, identify the poem. Option Prufrock, another observation. Option B, the wasteland. Option C, Ash Wednesday. Option D, it's both A and B. No. Okay, let me know the answer. Do you think is basically talks about sickness of modern civilization, the war and death, and basically uh, how empty the modern life is. Okay, you tell me the answer while let me see if I can write this down. It's actually option A and B. So, which do you think is the right answer? Actually, I thought let me see. Yes, I actually thought the right answer is just the wasteland, but the answer key is showing option D. So let me know. Do you think it's just the wasteland, or do you think the proof rock also deals with this kind of themes? We move on to the next question. From symbolist was derived blank of Ezra Pound. Option A, imagism. Option B, modernism. Option C, art for art's sake. Option D, realism. You see, Ezra Pound, the first keyword that should come to your mind is what we just discussed in the previous question. It is option A, imagism. Oh, this option A, imagism. Next question. Modernist poetry was inaugurated by T.S. Eliot. Option A, Ash Wednesday. Option B, Four Quartet. Option C, Wasteland. Option D, Proof Rock and Other Observation. Basically, which is the first work of T.S. Eliot, because that inaugurated modernist poetry. What is your answer? Because the right answer is Proof Rock and Other Observation. That is his first work. Next question. Who became the leader of wartime romanticism and the chief poet of the 40s? Is it Dylan Thomas, Thomas Hardy, T.S. Eliot, Auden? The key word is war romanticism, war poet, and the time period is 1940s. The right answer is option A, Dylan Thomas. Next question. Who became poet laureate in the year 1913? Option A, Dylan Thomas. Option B, Thomas Hardy. Option C, Rudyard Kipling. Option D, Robert Bridges. It's very tricky. If you don't know the poet laureate list, you won't be able to answer it. But still take a guess. Even if you don't know the answer, who do you think is the poet laureate of 1913? The right answer is option D, Robert Bridges. Next question. Which poet wrote these famous poems? Okay, identify the writer. Eastern 1916, No Second Troy, Sailing to Byzantium. We already discussed this when I was talking about this person. I talked about all these work. It is W.B. Yeats. Two more questions. Who was the author of the novel Ulysses? Direct question. Option A, James Joyce. Option B, Virginia Woolf. Option C, H.G. Wells. Option D, Rudyard Kipling. Who wrote Ulysses? And if I'm not wrong, tell me the year. Is it 1922 or not? Dealing with stream of consciousness, it is James Joyce. Last question. The Wreck of the Deutsche Land was the famous written by option A, T.S. Eliot, option B, Thomas Hardy, option C, G.M. Hopkins, option D, Rudyard Kipling. Who wrote the work The Wreck of Deutsche Land? I hope you have answered in the comment section, because the right answer is option C, G.M. Hopkins. And that is where we are drawing the line today. We have discussed 50 questions based on Victorian era and modern age mostly. And we'll be dealing with the rest of the questions. We have another 50 questions to deal with, which we will do so in the next live, which will be tomorrow. So stay tuned. And the easiest way you can come join me in the live is to subscribe the channel so you will get the notification. And if you like the questions that we have discussed today, and if you think it was helpful, do like the video as well and let me know opinions in the comment section because it's really valuable for me. And with that, thank you for listening. Thank you for staying as well. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.